Hey, welcome to the channel, Headlines in History, with me, your host, John Malik. I've received some requests recently to talk a little bit about the channel, talk a little bit about myself, so we can understand more fully what's going on here. So let's do that. Like I said, my name is John. I'm here, the host, and this is basically a podcast channel. We do some videos, I'm going to do some clips, but really what we're doing is talking about, in a podcast-like format, military conflict, foreign affairs, all wrapped up in history. Hence the name, Headlines in History. So we're going to come out weekly. I usually come out on Wednesdays. I try to keep episodes to an hour. And what I like to do is follow the headlines about what's happening overseas. Now, I'm an American, so overseas from my perspective. And then provide some context, some analysis, and some historical context so we understand the story more completely. So, a little bit about me. I've been in the Army for 27 years, still in. And let's make something pretty clear. Because I'm still in, I want everyone to know I don't speak for the U.S. government. I don't speak for the U.S. Army. I happen to be in the National Guard. I don't speak for the Guard, the government, anything. Whatever we talk about here on the channel is all about my opinion, what I think, and has no connections, again, to the government whatsoever. I do all of that stuff for my full-time job. This is not that. However, I do lean on my full-time job experience. So, 27 years in the Army, Army National Guard the whole time. But I've been an intelligence analyst every single year that I've been in. That started in 1997 all the way to today. I do have some deployments in there. Went to Iraq in 2005, did counterinsurgency work, counterterrorism work for the 42nd Infantry Division, my long-term service unit that I've been in for a long, long time. I went back overseas in 2012. I served as the J2, or the Director of Intelligence, for a Combined Joint Interagency Task Force. Had a lot of great experience working with other countries and agencies as we all interjected with the DoD. We did some very specific targeting stuff, and it was a great experience to get that side of what was happening in the global war on terror from the Afghanistan side. And then I found myself back in the Middle East during COVID 2020 in service in Kuwait with a much more strategic problem set. We were doing mill-to-mill engagements, reassuring our allies, building trust, reassuring allies, military engagements, very strategic mindset. For those that might know, the National Guard is a part-time job. Sometimes you can be working full-time for the National Guard, and sometimes you can be working part-time. I've done both. Right now, I work full-time. I do intelligence stuff. I'm an intelligence leader and intelligence officer for the National Guard full-time today, and I've been doing that for about 2 years. But before then, I was a full-time organized crime investigator for the New York State Attorney General's office inside of what they call their Organized Crime Task Force. OCTF, as it was called, is a wire unit. So I've listened to tens of thousands of phone calls, read innumerable text messages, done plenty of surveillance. I've been an affiant 4 times, which means I've been the lead investigator on cases that mainly involve guns, gangs, and drugs, today's real definition of organized crime. And I bring a pretty unique perspective between this investigation side of the house and the analysis side of the house. So I have the experience downrange. We could talk about all levels of military intelligence and strategic intelligence, and then we can flip it over to the other side and talk about police intelligence, federal narcotics intelligence, all those different things, and we can meld them together. And then, with a passion for history, we wrap all of that stuff together. So, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Be sure to head off to headlinesinhistory.com. I've got all the podcasts there. You can contact me. You can email me there, johnmalik@headlinesinhistory.com. Got some Patreon, Headlines in History podcast. But again, thanks for stopping by. A little bit about me. I hope you stick around, and we'll see you soon.